How's it going, ladies and gents? Dave B sells Chevy here, taking you on a little field trip to one of our other locations. Now, as you know, I work for Schumacher Chevrolet of Livingston in Livingston, New Jersey. We have a total of 5 stores. So we have Little Falls, which is our HQ, the mothership, right? The main location, been around for like 100 years. Then we have Clifton, where I am right now, Denville, and Boonton. So 5 stores total. I wanted to come here to Clifton today to kind of take a look at the inventory, see what they have, and just see some of the inventory that I'm able to sell in the Livingston store. Since we have the multiple locations, I can go on the internet and I can find out what the store has, and if my customer's interested in a vehicle here, I can come down, get it, send a driver, whatever it may be, to pick up the car and show my customer the vehicle at my location. I don't have to physically bring the customer here to the Clifton store. Because we have the multiple locations and I can sell from all of those stores, it dramatically increases the inventory that I have available for my customers. Now we're gonna take a little walk around the lot. I'm really hoping the wind noise is not that bad. It's pretty windy today. First big difference compared to the Livingston location. At our location, the lot is open, so you can drive on that property, let's say on a Sunday like today, to take a look at the cars, which a lot of people like to do. At the Clifton store here, they actually have it gated. So there's a real small area where you can kind of pull in if you wanted to. Actually, when I arrived here, there was a car parked here and there were some folks walking around, but you're not going to be able to drive around the parking lot, you know, on the Sunday when the dealership is closed, or even after hours when the dealership is closed. You have to be here when the store is open. Otherwise, you know, you're going to park in this little section right here, or I actually parked in the parking lot for the building next door. As far as the store is concerned and like the location, it is awesome. This building is so cool, and I wish I can get in it, which I can't now obviously because they're closed. But when you're in there and you're at your desk or you're up in the front here, you have a commanding view of the whole lot because you're in an elevated position. You have those big windows. It really is a nice looking showroom on the inside. And again, when you're inside there, you can see the entire lot down here, which is relatively empty compared to how I've seen it in the past. And you have a great view of all the cars out on the lot here. So you can see when people are walking around, when they're shopping, when they're on the lot throughout a busy day. You know, you're in those windows, you look out and you could find your customer, go out, say hello, greet them, and see what you can do to help them. Of course, like most dealerships, we have a service department here, we have a parts department, and then what I really like is they have this nice little patio section. You got a table here, you got a bench. So picture if you're a salesman here and you have some customers, it's a nice day, you can bring them outside, you can have a seat out here, you can talk about the deals, the cars, pull cars up for them to look at. It's a nice, again, a very nice atmosphere. And although, again, we're not in the building, you can kind of get an idea of that view of the whole property and the whole lot. Really, really looks cool. Let's now take a little walk. We'll take a look, see what kind of cars they have. We're gonna start up in the back corner here, move our way down, and then we'll hit the cars on this side, which look to be more of their used inventory and also their commercial inventory, including Bright Drops, because this is the location that can sell the Bright Drop electric vans. Here you can see this is either a 400 or 600. I'm really not too familiar as far as which one because of the size. The 400 is the smaller one. This one is the 600. So this is the longer version here. Again, you can use this, really what GM states is for last mile logistics. So think of delivery services, local to townships, things like that. A perfect example of that would be right here. You can see this one here was set up for FedEx. So they probably do local deliveries, things like that. And it's just a perfect vehicle for that sort of company. Looks like towards the upper part of the lot here is where they keep all their pickup trucks. We got Colorados. They got a decent number of them, and they even have Snowdrift Metallic, which I have not seen this color yet in person. We haven't had one at our store. So really cool looking color, like a light sky blue. Looks good with the Z71 package with the black accents, black grille, black wheels. This one even has a sunroof. So this is a fairly loaded up Colorado Z71. Here we have some Silverados, 1500s. Again, the 2FL being probably the more popular trim, which is what a lot of these are with that Turbo Max engine. That Turbo Max has 430 pound-feet of torque. These trucks with a turbo 4-cylinder can tow 9,000 pounds. Back here, it looks like they got a couple Suburbans. We got 2 here and 2 here, so 4 Suburbans. I don't see any Tahoes on the lot. So similar to us, Tahoe and Suburban, lighter inventories. It's sort of been that way for the last 5 years. You know, since the pandemic, since the chip shortage. I don't exactly know why, but maybe GM just decided to produce less of those vehicles, so there's less sitting on the lot. Because back in the day, you go back 6-7 years ago, we would have 20-25 Tahoes and Suburbans on the lot new, plus another 20-25 used. And they would sit there, they would all sell eventually, but you always had a huge supply of them. And now you don't carry as many. plenty, and the ones you do get in, you sell very fast. It's a quick turnover rate. They definitely have more Traverses than us. It looks like we got 4, 7, about 10 Traverses. Most of these look to be LT trims, and then we have one down the end here, Lakeshore Blue Metallic, which is the RS. This is the you know, the top model in a sense. All blacked out trim, black wheels, fully loaded, sunroof. Even a lot of these have Super Cruise, which I believe, yes, Super Cruise is actually still standard on these. One thing I find crazy is that they came out with a new High Country trim for 2025. I have still yet to see one. Never had one at the dealership, never had one in stock. Looks like they got, oh, they got more Traverses here. These are all, these are Z71 trims. That's more of the off-road inspired look and feel of the Traverse. So again, it gives you a sportier look, more of an all-terrain tire, red tow hooks, blacked out grille. Sporty look just like the RS, but more off-road inspired. Then we got a couple of more LTs here. So they actually have a really nice supply of Traverses. What did I say? 10, that's 12, 14, 16, 17 of them in stock. So if I need a Traverse, you know, I know where to look. I can go under inventory in our GM system. I pick the color, I put the options my customer wants. It'll show me what store has what, and then our managers contact each other and find out if it's available. If it's available, we send a driver over. Generally what they would do is they would pick a vehicle from our inventory. Our driver would drive it here, picks up this one, drives it back. It's a super quick trip. I think we're like 16, 17 miles away, probably a 20 to 25 minute drive depending on traffic. Looks like the next row here is every Lakeshore Blue Equinox that is currently in the state of New Jersey. They all seem to be LT trim, which is pretty straightforward. Sterling gray, a couple of white. These are all the gas vehicles, and then we have a couple of Equinox EVs right here on the end, which we do very well with. I'm not sure exactly how this store does with the electric cars. Here in northern New Jersey, the electric cars actually sell, you know, pretty well compared to other parts of the country. You know, I always say, like, where I live and where I work, it's Tesla country. You know, I drive 4.5 miles to get to work, and every single morning I drive to work, I'll pass probably 20 Teslas on the way in. It's crazy. Here's a nice comparison of the Blazers. So here we have an electric Blazer RS right next to it to a gas Blazer with the red line package. So you get some red accents on the grille, the wheels, the mirrors. Nice little comparison between the two, one being electric, one being gas, to kind of see the similarities and the differences in the styling. Here we have another electric Blazer and a sterling gray metallic Blazer red line as well. Moving up towards the front of the lot here. Now this is where this lot, to me, because I've been here, you know, a handful of times, feels a little bit emptier, because I remember seeing a lot more vehicles packed in here where you had like one little small row where you can drive cars through. So although this inventory looks very good and it seems to be adequate in my mind, it's still less than what they've probably had prior to the last 5 years of the car market, right? If you go back before pandemic and all that, this store most likely definitely held more cars than what's currently on the lot. Nitro yellow metallic tracks. Is this for you? Do you like this? Do you not like this? Let me know down in the comments. If you don't like the nitro yellow, maybe you're more of a marina blue type of person. The bright colors on certain cars are actually pretty nice when compared to the fact that most vehicles are what? They're white, black, and gray. It looks like they have about 10 or 12 Traxxas here in stock. This one, congratulations, Eric sold this one. This one here has a sold tag in it. Looks like it was sold by Sal. Sal, congrats on your sale. And if you go down a little further, this Trailblazer was sold. And this one looks like it was sold by Freddie. I love seeing sold signs on vehicles. One, because it shows vehicles are selling. Two, it helps the other salespeople know that that vehicle's not available while you're walking around on the lot. So if you're out here with a customer and you're looking at different vehicles, like this white one, for instance, has a sold tag in it as well. These guys are selling a lot of Traxxas. It looks like Eric sold this one as well. So congratulations to Eric on the 2-car white Trax deal. But again, it helps. And also it shows customers that vehicles are selling, which, you know, it puts you in the mood, right? People like to see that people are buying. It's like following the herd in a sense. You know, if other people are buying, I want to buy too. Let's make our way to the other side of the lot. Like us and like most car dealerships, they put their used cars on the front line here. So we got a couple of Tahoes available. You got some pickup trucks. This is where you're going to put your certified pre-owned, your pre-owned, and your off-brand. So anything that's not a Chevrolet, you know, usually you put out on the front line on the highway. This way, as people are driving down the road, they get to look and check a bunch of stuff out. Like this ZR2 2500 HD that they have in stock right now. Really, really cool truck. It's a 2024. Wonder how many miles are on this. Let's check it out. This is a 2024 with 77,000 miles on it? No way. Wow. If that's true, and that's not a typo, that's a lot of miles for a vehicle that's a year and a half old. Wonder what the original owner was doing with that. This is a Silverado EV. This is a brand new one, so this is not a used car actually. Looks good in the blue, I like it. RST trim. Looks like a couple more HDs. These appear to be new, and this store does a lot of commercial business. So as you can see, we have the work truck Silverado EVs, and then we're going to get into some bright drops. We're also going to get into some chassis cabs. So like here's the Chevrolet chassis cab. It's a 4500. You know, you buy the cab and then you put whatever body you need on it. So we can send this to a company that would upfit the truck exactly the way you want it. So this is what's called the chassis cab. And look at this, you can see the whole trans and everything. It's pretty cool. Whole transmission, exhaust running down. You got your drive shafts, fuel tank. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool seeing it without the bed on it, or the body on it. This one here would be an example of what it looks like when it's upfit. So this is a 5500 HD Silverado. It's got a dump body on it. So you can buy them like this ready-made, or like I said, most times what you do is you get the chassis cab and you can upfit it for whatever you want. So it just opens up the possibilities for the buyer, right? That you need a grain body, a stake body, a flatbed, whatever it may be. Now, technically, I don't think I can sell heavy-duty stuff like this at our store. We have done some things in the past, but it's only been like 3500 or smaller, never anything like a 6500 HD. So in a case like this, if I had a customer interested in something like this, it's really best for the customer for me just to refer them here. Like get them to the people here that handle these trucks on a daily basis and know more about it and can help them. It's just easier that way, and it's better for the customer. I mentioned earlier about this being a location that can sell the bright drops, and here you can see we have about 6 or 7 of them in stock, ready to go. A combination of the 400 and the 600. Again, the 600 being the longer one. These you can get in front wheel drive, you can get them in all wheel drive. I made a video on the one we have at our dealership, the parts van, and I gotta tell you, driving it all, it was a pretty cool little vehicle. I don't know why I just said little vehicle, because it's pretty big, but it's a nice vehicle for the purpose it's supposed to serve. Again, last mile logistics, delivery services, things like that. So it'll be interesting to see in time if that catches on, or if it doesn't and GM eventually one day decides to just scrap the whole program. You know, time will tell. Well, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the little tour here of Schumacher Chevrolet of Clifton in Clifton, New Jersey. Now, they're great people. They'll treat you right. You can buy a car from them. If you want, though, come to me, Dave B. Sell Chevy, Schumacher Chevrolet of Livingston, and I'll get you whatever you want. So if it's a car that's here at this location, I can help you with that. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned, because we're going to go to Little Falls, we're going to go to Denville, and we're going to go to Boonton in upcoming videos.